All right, so I've been getting asked to do a game room tour, and this is my game room, um, 2021 edition. So as we walk in the door, you'll see on the wall here. Of course, I am a Philadelphia sports fan. I got Daytona USA, Virtual Cop up there. Of course, the Eagles championship newspaper. And as you'll notice, the theme in my game room is basically um, everything from my childhood, toys, anything that mentions um, toys or action, anything from the 80s, 90s, early 90s, even to the late 90s, um, is going to be in here. That sometimes it's a game or a toy or a figure of some sort. Could be a poster. Is that I had any type of interest in when I was younger. If I found it, I bought it. I try to give everything a place. I don't like to just have clutter all over the floor so you can't move or anything. So this is the back of the door. I decided to put up some games. A lot of this stuff just kind of went up as I went, since I took all of my game consoles out of storage. Some things I printed up, as you can see. Got some Jaguar stuff there, some more Eagle stuff. All right. Dick Tracy figure up there. Was thrilled to find this online for, I think it was 15 bucks. Never opened. I was pretty excited about that. Some Mike Schmidt figures here. A Dreamcast RF adapter I found in the box. It's in rough shape, but I definitely didn't turn down the chance to pick up anything Dreamcast in its box. So got the X-Men handheld there from Tiger. Got a couple of McNabb covers. Thundercats figure. Found this PlayStation 2 DVD remote, complete in its box, which I thought was pretty cool. Got a Sonic, a Tiger handheld. I do have a thing for the Golden Girls. Don't judge me. My wife got that for Christmas for me for Christmas. Shot glasses. A Robin Hood figure down there. Another Don of a McNabb cover. Right behind the hats, you'll notice there's a Splatterhouse. Basically, I don't know if you can see, but I made a big giant Hue card or Turbo card, and I wore it to a video game convention that was around Halloween time, and they wanted, if you dressed up as anything, they would give you like $5 off the entry fee. So I decided to make that. You all know what that is. That's my broken Game Gear. I do have a working one on a shelf. There's some Muscle Men there. That was picked up. These were picked up at Five Below. And I thought that was really cool because they were definitely from the 80s, but these are like a reissue. Here's a working Master System. It's not hooked up because I do have a working Master System 2 hooked up, ready to go. Some Joe Montana's football. This is an old Game Crazy disc buffing card, and as you can see, I only got to one. I got that when I purchased Shenmue from there, used pre-owned back in like the mid 2000s. When it would have been cheaper. The little boxing game still works, of course. Some figures in here, game related and whatnot. And right down here is an Alf hand puppet that was kind of like the Happy Meal toy per se for Burger King back in the day for a small time, for a short time. There's a Talk Boy down there, one of my 2 Talk Boys. There's a couple of OG PlayStation Fats, PlayStation 3 Fats down there. One's a backwards compatible that I got working after a little bit because I redid the thermal paste on it, and it worked for a good while, a few months, and then I put it aside, unhooked it, and of course maybe that's not good because maybe the thermal paste dried up or whatnot. I have no idea, but it definitely goes back to the yellow light of death. This one here is a 40 gig, so that one at least still works. I think they figured out how to keep these things from yellow light of deathing, if you will. Picked Time Crisis 4 up for exactly that price, 1996. So that was a pretty good pickup there. There's one of my 3 Dreamcasts sitting there on top of a Jack Bauer figure there. There's Casey the Robot. I had that when I was a child. Works. There's a quick GTA and etc. collection there. When Halo 3 was released, they had a promotion with Mountain Dew. That's an unopened bottle there. There's my original Xbox One right down there, 2013 launch model. It's my game room. Sign. There's a couple of controllers back here on the wall. One of them is an Ouya controller right down there. If you're asking what an Ouya is, don't worry about it. You do not need to know. You're not missing anything. I was a big fan of GamePro magazines. As you can tell, this is not nearly, half of them, so I definitely got more there. A little Mario Kart poster in the middle there. Batman figure that I got when I was a child for my birthday, and I wanted to buy it back after all these years, and picked it up on eBay. Was thrilled about it for a good price. And then weeks later, I'm walking in a flea market, and here is Robin, fully caped, everything, and I was like, get out of here. This is definitely getting purchased right now. There's some Batman, kind of like a Micro Machine toys there. Reissue, real Ghostbusters, Bug-Eye Ghost. Some figures there. Mortal Kombat. And some figures here. Thundercats. We got the Skeletor, He-Man, Lino. There's a box for Hyperstone Heist. There's another Ghostbusters retro release. That's the old street I used to live off of. This is my favorite GamePro magazine. It was the October 1999 release or issue, and it was all about the Dreamcast. So that's definitely a memorable magazine for me because I just spent countless days just reading that magazine top to bottom, inside and out. Virtual Boy box for when I picked up my Virtual Boy. It came in that. There's a popper, Ghost Popper. I'm sorry about the lighting here, folks. See if I can dim that a little bit. There's a Phillies bobblehead. Got He-Man there. Another He-Man set. A couple of cases back here, a couple of cases on the side. All right, before we get over to the one side, let's take a look at the entertainment hub here. Xbox One X, I got some of my minis here. Some of my minis, there's a few more behind me. There's my original from when I was a kid, Sega Genesis high definition model with 32X Sega CD. There's some Wii games back there, Nintendo Wii. If you just heard that, that's the TurboGrafx CD kind of talking to me there while I was running some games. Super NES, there's the Ouya, Sega Master System 2, everybody knows what this one is under it. And there's the TurboGrafx 16 with CD. And that is hooked up right here to a 9-inch CRT TV. Now if you go down here, you'll notice I got my Wii, GameCube, Wii U. Sega Dreamcast with keyboard, mouse, on top of an Xbox 360 E, I think they called it. It's the third edition of the 360, complete revision, if you will. Meant to kind of look more like the original Xbox One and the original launch model of the Xbox 360. Dreamcast, VMU, Dreamcast controller. And there's a working HD DVD player for the 360, Sega Saturn. This is a Model 1, there's a Model 2 I have. That's actually to my left. 3D controller with a Model 2 controller, Model 1 controllers behind me. There is my Nintendo 64 with some games stacked because I do not have any more room in this thing, right? This thing here kind of turns. This thing turns around, so each corner has a slot where I can put games, and I got basically split between the 64 and Genesis games. And then it continues back here. Genesis as well. I think I have 157 N64 games. That's insane. But anyhow, let me back up a little bit. So this is, of course, you got Baby Yoda, my Galaga 1-Up machine. We have a shelf with a lot of figures on it, wrestling figures. I got tons more, but these were the good ones that I have. My favorite wrestler of all time. If you can't tell just by looking at this image, there's 3 different Macho Man figures here. Got some old school Happy Meal toys. Got a Hot Wheels Batman, Hot Wheels Ghostbusters. Dreamcast issue 1, official magazine, Dreamcast official magazine, issue 0. There's Castlevania Bloodlines, an issue of Nintendo Power, and of course a random retro gamer magazine. Now, that's actually meant to be there because I'm actually in that magazine, featured as an underdog collector. They gave me pretty much a page on my collection, which I thought was really cool. Here's some more Ghostbusters figures. A couple of Macho Man pop figures there. Philadelphia Eagles, Philadelphia Phillies, 2008 and 2017 World Championship rings. Some long boxes down here. I got a long box right here. This is my entire, now this doesn't look like much, but there's actually, I think, about 50 Nintendo NES games in here. It's just I have them kind of neatly in there, so that's my NES collection, modest NES collection. There's a few random things in here. Some pogs there to the right of the 360 controller. Some random things in here. I apologize for being so dark. Now in here, we have my entire handheld collection. I'm going to back up a little bit real quick. Yeah, my entire handheld collection is in there. You got everything from 3 PSPs, 2 PS Vitas, an Atari Lynx, numerous Nintendo DS's, the Game Gear's in there, Game Boy Colors. There's the Nintendo Wii U collection. There's a bunch of Wii U games behind there, Saturn cases, Nintendo Switch games are in there as well, along with that being down here. Halo, behind the Halo, of course, there's my entire Halo collection. Again, pretty dark down here, but same thing that goes with Soul Calibur down here. With Soul Calibur is my Soul Calibur collection. There's some Sega CD games behind here. Now, none of these games are actually in the cases because I like quick and easy access, and I do not have enough room in this game room to store every case that I own. So what I did was I placed them all in organized fashion in CD holders or cases, if you will, and basically I know which ones they're in. So if I want a Sega CD game, I'm going to go grab the Sega CD case. If I want a Dreamcast game, I'm going to grab the Dreamcast case right here. There's my Atari Jaguar collection. Goes much deeper than what it is, but I'm not going to pull everything out. Super NES games. As you can see, they kind of stack up. Let's see here. Got a lot of figures up here on top of a original Intellivision, working Intellivision, I should say. But tons of figures from when I grew up. Everything has a meaning. For example, Flounder there from a Disney movie, Little Mermaid. When I was a kid, I got a Happy Meal, and he was in there, and you know, I had a lot of fun with it. You know, whether I was, you know, playing with, you know, different kinds of action figures or not, with that, it still holds a memory. Plus, I you know, I enjoyed the movie as a kid. So there's the reissue of Optimus. Of course, I had all these figures when I was a kid. These Batman figures. I got some 1984 figures in here, 1989 figures. A lot of randomness, as you can tell, in this room. On top of here, some more handhelds. TurboGrafx 16 Express does work. Just could use a recap. It takes a little bit for the screen to come on, but after, you know, a minute or two, it's working just fine, but definitely could use a recap. Some Eagle stuff here. There's another Talk Boy. This one's deluxe. Not entirely sure why they called it deluxe, but because there's no real difference at all. This Dick Tracy watch there, that came as a mail order when you purchased enough boxes of Captain Crunch, and I could not wait for that to come in the mail when I was a kid. Oh my God. And when it finally did, I was just thrilled because it was a watch. Dick Tracy movie had just come out, and Dick Tracy was all about his talking watch, and this was a watch that could play the radio, which I thought was really neat. There's my PS1 with the screen, original Game Boy. Neo Geo. There's a handheld baseball game there. Virtual Boy with the Power Glove in front of it. Working Virtual Boy. Both eyes have been repaired, so it works 100%. There's a Genesis 3. A Zelda watch, but you can actually play a game on it. It still works and everything. There's a Whiz Kid from when I was a kid. Of course, you know who that is. Gizmo, Roger Rabbit. There's all my TurboGrafx games back under here. Behind Scrooge, Uncle Scrooge. There's a Space Invaders arcade one-up. Virtual Fighter 2, Magic Knight Ray Earth, Fighters Mega Mix, and Oasis. Some key Saturn games there. There's some Pogs up on the ceiling with Luigi and a mushroom, along with some WWE figures. Macho Man, of course, in the middle. Now, inside here are some more stuffed animals that I had as a kid. Yes, I had a My Buddy, a Nestle Quick doll, a Littlefoot, and I definitely had a Teddy Ruxpin. A working Nintendo 64 Jungle Green. Some Turtles figures. There's my Saturn Model 2. There's another hand puppet of Alf from Burger King back in the day. There's a Batman 89 Batwing, Batman 89 Batmobile. And there's a dartboard, of course. Got some more stuff. I like to have the tablet on here kind of running, some Twitch in the background. Now down under, I don't think we did this, but down under the entertainment center, you have the original Xbox to the left. To the right of that, the upper left, to the right of that is the Xbox 360. Bottom left, 3DO with a Vader Atari 2600 working one. It's a Gold Star 3DO there. The Atari Jaguar with Pro controller. There's my PlayStation 4 with the VR. To the right of that, PlayStation 3 Slim, PlayStation 2 Slim under that to the bottom left, and then to the bottom right, you have the original PlayStation. It's 24 minutes of my game room. Very quick tour. You know what? Let's not forget the PCFX, the obscure PCFX working one with 2 games. Bought that fully boxed. Really excited about it because it's basically the sequel to the PC Engine. You know, if it would have not relied too heavily on first full motion video games, which were terrible back in the day, it would have been the sequel also to the TurboGrafx 16. So, but that is my 2021 game room tour. You know, it's really something I try not to do a lot of, is kind of show off what I have to people, but I have been asked to do a game room tour just so people can see what I collect and see the stuff I have, you know. Everything, all the game consoles that you see here are ready and able to play at a moment's notice. Everything's got its plug-in, everything's got its power in. Just got to switch the audio-video cable right over, boom, done. which I definitely want. Some people, you know, everybody has their own ways of doing things. Some people like to just have their game consoles up for show, but I want mine ready to play. Oh yeah, down here, right in the middle on this ottoman here, is a TurboGrafx 16 mini next to a Sega Genesis mini, connected to a little flat screen TV. And my iPad with my Switch in front of it. And inside, of course, the ottoman, you have a bunch of accessories and whatnot. So that is a brief look at everything I have in my game room. Again, you know, I could go on for days talking about every single little thing in here, but, you know, I'd bore you guys to death. So, got any questions? Leave a comment. Other than that, if you liked what you've seen here, by all means, leave a like, subscribe, and let me know what you think. See you guys.